Welcome to another Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. Today, we're going to take a look at Dune Imperium, Rise of the Ix. This is designed by Paul Dennen, and it is an expansion to Dune Imperium. I'll put a link to my unboxing of Dune Imperium, but since that unboxing, I've got a chance to play this bad boy, and I must say that I like it. It's some worker placement, it is deck building, it has the Dune theme to it, and I think it plays relatively nicely. I mean, it all fits together in a nice, tight package of sorts. Now, I've played it mostly solitaire, and the solitaire system works well. It's engaging, and it presents a challenge, and you can ratchet that up and play at higher levels if need be. But I think that this does play better as, or probably offers more opposed. Now, Dune Imperium Rise of the Ix, what does that add to the game? Well, that adds some more gameplay. It adds some more leaders that you can use, and it adds, I think, some more mechanisms as well. Let's take a look at the back of the box here. Rise of the Ix expands and deepens the thrilling gameplay of Dune Imperium. Acquire technology for lasting benefits, dominate the battlefield with mighty dreadnoughts, outmaneuver your opponents by dispatching infiltrators, experience new epic game mode for longer, higher stakes challenge. Let your fortunes ascend with Rise of the Ix. As it says here, there's a battlefield in Dune Imperium. Not only is there like worker placement, and you're trying to build favor with some of the different factions, and some of the factions you have to have some prerequisites before you can move to some of the places on the board, or you need to have a status with one of the factions before you can move to certain spaces on the board. But there's also a battle aspect in the middle of the board that there's kind of an ongoing conflict, and you're constantly competing for that conflict. And so there's a lot of ways to score points in this game, and there's a lot of different strategies, and in some respects it's kind of a point salad game in that regard, because you can go heavy in military and try to win some of those conflicts, or you can try to build up with certain factions that allow you to do other things. And there's also the I think it's the council board at the top that really helps you from a monetary standpoint. A lot of the things up there, you need to have Solaris to buy it, but they give you like an extra worker, or give you extra military people for your garrison and stuff. So there's a lot of different strategies and things that you can do in this. And so Rise of the Ix is just adding more to that, more of the same. So if you like Dune Imperium, then I think you're probably going to like Rise of the Ix, because it's adding more of that, more gameplay, but yet some deeper gameplay with a few extra added features there. If you don't like Dune Imperium, then I don't really think Dune Imperium Rise of the Ix is probably going to win you over. I don't know if there's anything super new in here that's going to tilt you in favor of it if you're not already predisposed to liking it. Big flat box lid here. However, given that there's extra space in Dune Imperium, if you take out the insert, you can put a whole lot more in there. And so all this is probably going to find its way into the Dune Imperium box, because I like to save shelf space. And so, this I think is going to be able to fit in there. It might even be able to fit in there with the insert, but the insert's just a cardboard insert, just kind of holding it somewhat in place. That'll probably go, and this will probably take its place. You get a rule book here. It's got some new icons and terms and new board spaces that are identified on the back, so you can keep this out to if you needed a quick reference for some of the new stuff here. With these new board spaces, I wonder if there's going to be like overlays to the current board spaces that if you want to play with these new ones here. We'll see. Looks like the game and there's credits on there, so really 10 pages. And really, that's with the epic game mode and clarification, so you're looking right at 10 pages. These are big pages, color. You've got your new game components, new player component, or new player components. You get a new disc and some dreadnoughts, so that's interesting addition there. How you set everything up with the new components. There's a watch it play if you want to scan that right there. Tech tiles. This is a new added feature, acquiring techs. So that's going to add a different strategy to the game as well. There's the shipping track. And so that's a track you'll be moving up and yet another track to manage or try to get different resources from. And it looks like that ties into the tech track there as well, as on some of the rewards you can get. You have dreadnoughts, how they come into play. So rules on that. So there's a whole page on that. Other new icons, discard, unload, infiltrate. I was mentioned that on the back of the box, these infiltrators. And then you have additions to solo and two-player games. As I said, the solo game is not bad. It has a separate deck of cards that you flip over that basically takes the actions of the non-player or the AI. There's also an app. I actually tried out the app where you can, it flips the cards for you. So, I mean, you don't need to have the app, and it's not app dependent, but it just basically shuffles and replaces the cards. But you can also set up the deck in the app for different types of solo player, different levels of difficulty. So I don't know if the app goes to this expansion. I'll have to take a look at that, but it's really not not necessary. The cards that you have, this House Haggle cards, basically is the AI. And it's not so much that it's doing doing a whole player turn. It's taking up a lot of spaces, and it doesn't necessarily it cheats, right? It doesn't necessarily play by the same rules. It will clog up a space that you might want to go to, and it will give the AI a different benefit because it handles resources a little bit different. It has a different victory engine on how it uses resources or spends resources different from you. So it kind of, again, it's playing a little bit outside the game, but it's still clogging up your works. It's blocking spaces, and it's piling up victory points that you need to keep track of because again, this game is kind of built that you get 10 victory points, and then after someone gets 10 victory points, whoever has the most victory points wins. So you got some new rules here for solo and two-player. You got some rules for the tech tiles, how they work. There's some solo game variants there, so you can spice up your solo play. And then you got epic game mode. I don't know what that is. I need to read up on that. I wonder if that is... Oh, that's just a longer game. It's like 12 victory points, and maybe it changes some of the rules there. And then some clarification. So there's the rule booklet. You get some bags here to store your stuff in. You get these new round disc. So in each of the four colors, I should say, you get dreadnoughts. Looks like you get 2 dreadnoughts in each of the different colors. You get some new leader cards here, and the leader cards are give you kind of an asymmetrical power. They give you, this is their signet ability. So when you play your signet card, you get this, and then this is your ongoing ability. So your dreadnoughts have 4 strength instead of 3. So if you're playing the dreadnought strategy, maybe that's helpful. And then on the back you have kind of a player aid, round start, player turns, combat, makers, and recall. Makers is where you add more spice to some of the spaces on the board. Well, this one's really complicated. This has a lot going on here for its regular ability and then its signet ability. This one has coordination and conscript. This one's getting a little involved as well. So adding these really adds a lot to the game and adds a lot of replayability, because you play against some of these and then also play as some of the, you can play against some of these as solo, and then of course opposed, of course, and then you can play as each one of these. So that adds a lot of different variety among the different leaders that you might pick. And we've got, this is just a this is just an open player aid card. Oh, this adds some rules for 2-player and for solo, so that's a little player aid that didn't have before. And then you have this is for rivals and for solo, so a couple extra player aids here that go into some of the additional rules that they didn't have in the original set. Here's the new cards that we get. We'll take a look at those in a sec. Here's some of these new, maybe these are overlays here. So maybe this is a new one for the Landsrant Council. And the Shome here, this is that traveler's track or shipping track here. So I wonder if that just goes over the main board. Looks like it does. Some new battle cards. We'll take a look at those here in a second. Then we got another overlay here, which deals with your tech negotiation, dreadnought. So this is a new place to go, or maybe a new faction here. Looks like you got a whole world here, so we'll have to see how that plays in. Nice thick board there. Then we have some of these here. These are counter sheets. There's 2 of them, and I think these are the techs maybe that you get here. So you got all kinds of new techs here. Have to read up on how that works. And I think that's the symbol for the techs. So these might have some powerful effects here to add to the game. Artillery, training drones, all kinds of new techs there. And there's like the little key symbol here. I'm assuming that goes along with that somehow. And so there that is. So let's look inside some of these cards here. These are the conflict cards. We got some new ones here. I don't know if these just get shuffled in or if they, oh, there's a combination here. So you got some of your conflict cards, and typically you draw, you play out 10, you get 4 of the 3, and then 5 of the 2, and then 1 of the 1s, I think, is how that normally works. So I don't know if these just get shuffled in, and so you got some new stuff going on here or what, but you got some new conflict cards, and then you got some new intrigue cards. Intrigue is a place where one of the sections, one of the guilds or factions you go to, and then you can pick some of these, and these are kind of, sometimes they're one-time event things or they're in-game scoring, but they're usually pretty powerful. When I was playing one of my last solo games of this, these really helped me really take a lead in the game by meeting some of the conditions that kind of had an in-game scoring to it. So there's some intrigue cards here. Then we've got this is probably going to be the Haggle deck, which is the solo deck, and also some new cards that you buy. So there's the new House Haggle. This is the solo AI deck that you use that will tell you where you go or where the AI is going to go, the non-player character is going to go. And then this right here is when it comes to conflict round, if someone's on the conflict track, you pull one of these over, and that's how much extra attack that they get. So that's kind of a wild card. It could be 0, and it could go up to large numbers, and that kind of mess things up. So you don't necessarily know how the conflict track is going to resolve in that regard. Move some of this out so you can see it at least. And then these are some of the new cards that you can buy. And of course, there's a cost that you have to pay for it. Oh, this one looks like it's water of some sort. And then you get the ability, whenever you play the card, you get this ability. And then if you hold it at the end of the round and just reveal it, you get whatever the revealed value is. So you might get some, if you're on the combat track or conflict track, you're going to get some combat or attack value, or you can get some more resources to buy stuff with. And sometimes they might let you go up on, though this is kind of new, let you go up on one of the different faction tracks here. Looks like that deals with technology. So you got all kinds of new cards here, and you're building these. You're acquiring these cards and then put them in your deck. And again, this is the deck builder aspect, because you're going to trying to make a stronger deck and then trying to wean some of the weaker cards out. And so you just have an engine going with all these different cards. And again, it's going to be based on kind of what your strategy is. Well, that one, if you reveal that one, get quite a bit of combat on that. So yeah, this is going to add a whole new feel and flavor to the game there. So there you have it. This is what you get in a box of Rise of Ix. So a whole new, mechanic in technology or tech cards and acquiring those. A whole new shipping track to get resources off of tech and other things here that you might want to manage, and then a bunch of new leaders that play, very differently and uniquely from each other. Some new cards to buy, a new solo deck to manage your AI, and some new intrigue cards. You get dreadnoughts and all kinds of other good stuff here. So that is what you get in a box of Dune Imperium Rise of Ix. As I said, there's quite a bit of new stuff there, but not, probably, I don't know if that's enough to tip the scale if you're on the fence. Definitely, if you're not a lover of this, then I don't know if this is going to make you love it more. But if you do like this or love this, then I think this is probably a no-brainer. You're probably going to want to have more of it and play with more of it and have more variety. So anyway, that's what I have for you today on Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. Dune Imperium, Rise of the Ix. Let me know what you think. Drop your thoughts. You can talk about anything. I don't care. Let me know what you think about this, or the original game, for that matter. Pros, cons, goods, bad, or ugly. It's all fair game. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.